Hey guys, welcome to League of Learning episode 2. This one's going to be for junglers. I just wanted to stop and talk real quick about the style of these videos. This one's probably going to look a little bit different than the last one. I will try and have a recurring style in these videos, but just for the first maybe like 5 episodes, I'm going to just be, kind of switching it up, finding my own style and trying to figure out what I like to do. So just bear with me, don't hate me, and let's jump right into our first champion. So our first champ's gonna be Vi. Now, since I'm talking about junglers here, I want to talk about 3 things: mobility, survivability, and gankability. So I want to talk about survivability first, what makes them good in the jungle, and how they clear, survive, avoid taking damage from those little jungle camps. So with Vi, she's got her blast shield. That's her passive. Whenever she uses an ability on an enemy, she gets a little shield based off of max health. This shield can be up every like 6 seconds or so because it does get reduced by her W beam proc, which is just a passive based off of auto attacks. So she really has that shield. It's up every around 6 seconds if you proc that W a couple times, and really helps her clear those camps. A lot of her abilities are AoE, so her Q, her E, they hit multiple enemies, so she's not going to have a problem clearing that raptor camp, that wolves, those golems. She's going to be fine with that, and that really helps her stay alive, so that way when she does gank, she's not on low health, and she's able to take some punishment from the lane she's ganking if need be. Next, her mobility. Obviously, she's got her Q. That's her bread and butter. It's the old vault breaker. She charges herself up, launches herself at an opponent. Slight knock-up if she hits him. She can use this ability to get around the jungle. She can jump through walls with it. So she's got that mobility there. She can use it just to really get from one side of the map to the other if she needs to. The cooldown relatively low. Mana cost relatively low. A lot of damage on this ability, though. A lot of damage indeed. Her whole kit really provides quite a bit of damage, so you won't really have to be too scared to gank more passive lanes, something like maybe a Malphite or Maokai. If you go in, you're going to be able to provide most of the damage on that gank, and the Malphite and Maokai can just provide the CC. Our next topic being the most important one for jungle, gank ability. Now, she has got great gank ability because of her mobility. So, after level 6, we'll jump right ahead to level 6. If you don't land that Q, which is fine, sometimes you miss, it's hard, people want to dodge it, no problem. You throw that Q out, maybe you miss, you're real close to them, or maybe you're even far away. As long as you're in your ultimate range, you can just charge right in with that. It's a point-click ability. You end up flying to the enemy, lifting them up, slamming them down. You knock them up for a second, 1.25 seconds. And while she's traveling there, if you're maybe a 2v2 skirmish in mid, maybe you're fighting for that crab, you can just press R on whatever champ you want to go to. You'll fly there. Any champ in the way gets knocked out sizable amount of units. I think it's about 350. When you do that, it really just displaces everybody. If you're in a team fight as well, maybe you queue in, hit a tank, and then press your R on the back line. You're going to fly there, part the seas. Your team's going to follow up. It's going to be a great engage tool, as well as a great ganking tool. So you fly into the lane with the Q, you press R, the enemy has very little time to react. That being said, while she's traveling to her opponent, they can flash. So if they are near tower, you're going to want to be a little bit careful. They could flash, bring you into tower range, kill you there. So just remember where the enemy is positioned in their lane. You don't want to get dragged into tower, feed a kill, then your lane's all upset. No. But if one of your lanes is pushed maybe to tower, you could come from behind that tower, Q into their lane, and then press R. The enemy will have no time to react. It'll be way out of position, and you'll be able to catch them off guard. So that is why I recommend Vi to you guys. She's an aggressive jungler. She does a lot of damage, very easily aimed CC, and especially after level 6, her ult, you don't need to aim it at all. So you can just walk up, press R. After they've landed, then you can land that Q since they have just been knocked up, and you'll have some time to aim that ability at them. As well as she is a great engage, which sometimes can be very hard to find in low elo. People don't really want to engage. You just end up getting caught and stuff. So when there's that team fight, you can just press R on the enemy AD carry. With the patch that came out a little while ago, she now knocks people out of the way quite hard, so your team will be able to really just funnel in and figure out who they need to focus because of you. So that is why I recommend her, and we will be moving on to our second aggro jungler pick. Moving on to our second jungler, aggro jungler, is Udyr. So again, we'll be going over the same things. Here I will start with mobility for Udyr because that is the easiest one. And that's obviously with his bear stance. So his bear stance, obviously a great tool for mobility, great movement speed. It lasts quite a while, and at the end of the move speed, you got a stun there on this auto. So a real great ability, just being able to run real quick at people and stun them. Now, he obviously doesn't have any dashes like Vi, but because of this incredible bonus move speed, he really doesn't need it. I mean, obviously it would be nice to have a dash on Udyr, but it'd be a little overpowered. That's why you've got flash for some scenarios where you need to maybe flash stun somebody. But he does have that great mobility with his bear stance, and that brings us right into his gank ability. Moving into his gank ability, obviously with the bear stance, being able to run really fast at someone and then just auto attack stun them is very good. Now you might be thinking, but wait, what about other people's dashes and flashes? What do I do about that? If I'm running at them and they just flash away, I'm going to be shit out of luck. Well, what I recommend is when you are ganking, especially lower elo, people sometimes don't have wards or they're playing too far up, etc. You can just walk into the lane, whether you have Tiger, Bear, whatever stance you've got on. You just walk into the lane, they see you, they'll start running. And when you get to a point where you feel, all right, I've got them, even if they flash, if I have bear stance on, I'll still be able to catch them. You throw that bear stance on, you smack them with the stun. Now, if they flash as soon as you turn that bear on, guess what? You've still got the move speed. You've still got the ability to gank them. You run at them, you stun them, and now they've just burned their flash, and you still got that stun off. So he definitely has great gank ability there. His Q, bringing a lot of damage to the table. Just like Vi, he's got tons of damage as well, but he's got it in a quicker, cleaner package. All he's got to do is just auto attack. You hit that Q, you're going to apply a .1, and then 2, you get bonus physical damage when you turn that on. So you've got the attack speed going, you've got the damage going. People are not going to know what hit them when you run into their lane. So again, if you've got those more defensive laners, maybe a Maokai, something like that, you'll run in, stun them, start hitting them with that Tiger stance after the bear, and then they'll just be dead. It's so quick, so fast, and does a lot of damage. So it's really good for those more defensive laners, and that is why I put him as an aggro jungler. Udyr can also duel people quite well. He can really fight at those crabs. As they have pushed the time back, that kind of sucks for him, but it just lets him get stronger and stronger. He will be level 4 when he goes for those crabs, making his Tiger stance even better. And I really believe he is one of the best champions for when it comes to one-on-one fights or even 2v2 fights, just because of the damage he provides. So if you're looking for a super damage-heavy jungler and a really duel-heavy jungler, if you want to dominate the enemy jungle, beat them up, take their camps, kill them, I recommend Udyr for sure. Lastly, we got his sustainability. What makes him good? Honestly, again, the fact that he does so much damage, it just helps him clear his camp so quickly. His buff's gone in an instant. You do him so quickly with Tiger stance, and alternating through the stances as well, going from Tiger to Bear to Turtle, doing stuff like that just really helps you clear those camps faster. Stunning it, doing some more damage, and then throwing on that Turtle just to get some lifesteal back. It's great. You know, it really works out well for him. I think he's one of the best champions for clearing camps. Again, the only drawback to Udyr being he doesn't have a dash. That's really it. His sustainability is great. The W turtle stance, so good for that lifesteal, for clearing those camps. Again, I recommend picking him up, trying him out in some normal games, seeing how you feel about him. I personally didn't like him at first, then I started playing him more and more. I ended up getting those small skirmishes, 2v2s, 1v1s, and I would win them almost all the time. It is a great feeling. He feels great once you know how to play him, and he deals so much damage. I can't express the feeling of proccing press the attack with Tiger stance and watching someone lose like 200 health immediately. So I definitely recommend picking him up.